Today we have the Hacktivist tournaments going on, and this is I think one of the first NISEI ban list, 2006. And so put together a tournament. This is a bi-weekly tournament that we do. I'm starting a little late. I had to organize and get the people kind of all set up and the pairings all together, but I thought I'd stream, let you guys kind of observe to see what's going on with this brave new world. So games have already started, so let's jump right in here and go ahead and check out some games. Okay, so we have about 16 players playing today, so let's go ahead here and jump into White Blades and Exalts. We'll do that one. White Blade has been a regular with us. Okay, so we have Hoshiko versus Sports Metal, and White Blade is on an APOC list, so he had to get rid of DDoS because that is no longer legal, and it looks like he was able to APOC at least one time. Having Paperclip off is really nice, but this already looks like it's going to be a tough recovery for Exalt, because Exalt lost a good portion of ice. That's unfortunate. I think this is just a matter of time now for Exalt to be able to yeah, he raises tier here, and it's going to be goes ahead and clicks to break all those, but it makes him super poor. Remote Enforcement wins the game. Okay, so that's the first game here. Let's go ahead and watch their second game. I believe that's their... Oh no, they have to wait until this turn. Next turn, because his opponent now has 5 clicks, but can't really utilize on it, like score, unfortunately. But running in there will give the win. So let's go ahead and look at the next game here. So some of the new NISEI ban list, I'll pull that up here while we're getting ready, just so those of you who are not aware. So the way they got rid of is the MWL, and instead of there's no more restricted cards, there's just banned cards. Some of the big, I think, highlights of cards that have come off for the runner are like Faust, GFI has come off, Paperclip is no longer there, so I see a lot of Anarch signed up, so I think people are trying to utilize Faust. Let's see if we can get back in here into this match. Unless they closed out both their games. Maybe they closed out both their games. Let me check here. It's over. They're already done. So let's go ahead and look at another match here. And it's not loading for me. There we go. So this is a Freedom deck. It looks like Infinite Jester is using Hippo. Looks pretty standard. I don't see anything special here. The DJ Fenris is interesting. Oh, Zero is the big include. So Zero being off the banned list is interesting, and I believe that's going to give Anarchs a lot of tempo. It's a great console. I am curious what the builds that are going to come from this, because the big decks that they had previously were with Clan Vengeance. But I'm excited to see this card back, because I think it's a really powerful and a really fun card. Obokata is also free from the MWL, so, but I'm trying to think what other things that you could combo with it. Obokata and GFI, that's a great agenda suite. But that's, you know, usually you want Nisei, so there's probably not room for GFI. Oh, and also bioethics is off. This is kind of interesting. I'm not sure if I understand how the bioethics is an advantage here. Um, La Costa grid I can totally see, but I think Ingram flush, so that is a code gate. Wonder if they hippo this. I would. I think hippo's always good to use when you can, because Ingram flush strength 5. Well, that's kind of expensive to break with it. So that's 3 to install and then 6 to break. And this is just a single access. And hits a snare, bringing them down with a tag. And if they hit another snare, that would have been game over or something spicy. So the corp is pretty poor here. Gotta, just money up. Infinite Jester seems to be in a pretty good spot here. And I see Infinite Jester just going to, if it were me, I would just start poking HQ, seeing if you can get some accesses. They might be holding some snares, so I guess that's troublesome because we've seen snare. 2 snares, so there's 2 more snares. 2 snares have been used, so there's maybe 1 more. But yeah, I think that's the right call. HQ is where you go. Agendas probably are piling up at this point. And with the free access, no money, that's the way to go. Yeah, I think that's what you do, is you just keep poking. Because Polana needs to... Do they have an NISEI counter? They don't even have an NISEI counter, so... See, I think you want to hippo this. You might as well get rid of it. I guess not, because they're going to keep it. Seeing 2 cards. And there it is. There's the win. So good match there. They got set up, and it seems like once you have this kind of board state up, it's hard to contest. Let's watch their next match here. Actually, I'm curious here on 0 Hour what kind of deck he's playing. So yeah, he had mentioned he was working on a Hoshiko deck with Faust and kind of trying to recreate the Dumble Fork deck. Looks like he's in a pretty good spot here, but he's out of cards, so he's not in a great spot. Looks like meeting adjourned probably can take this from him. This project Vacheron is a real pain because you obviously you can steal them, but you cannot score them. So this looks like it's game, and that looks like it's it. So I wanted to go to this Infinite Jester game here because I just started. So we have Infinite Jester on Harmony Medtech. And what is this card? So that's an Obokata. Just got trashed. What's in server 1? So I'm assuming NGO. I guess that's kind of an interesting, Harmony Medtech. You could play GFI and Obokata together now. So that might be interesting. Really need some ice on R&D though, because losing the, you just keep if you get Stargated here, lose the game. The agenda density of Harmony Medtech is it's a 40 card deck, so you can have 44 cards and you can have basically 6 big agendas. So I imagine the agenda suite here is what I would do is I would do GFI and Obokata. So yep, that's the NGO. Not sure what's here in server 2. And Rashida is always good to get off. Looks like, I don't know if this deck is just light on ice or what it is, but it seems unfortunate that they have not seen much ice. Oh, they got rid of an Anansi. So Ingram Flush seems like a pretty good card, especially right here. You get to see the whole hand, right? When you encounter it, you then pick it's a DreamNet. You have to pick a type. That's what it is. You pick a type, and then they have to trash that from their deck. So they had to trash some events, looks like, because that's what they had selected. Oh, wow. 2 of the agendas right there. So you got to go with Obokata because, and if you have like an I've had worse, well, why would you do that? I actually don't understand that. Are both of them in archives? You win. Well, I guess you have to have, so you have 5. Well, you could steal one of them this turn. I don't know why you do that. Because maybe they're not understanding that Harmony Medtech, you only need 6 points. Yeah, because I think if you steal one this turn, 4, you can draw up the next turn and steal that one. And but I guess you have a punitive. So that's one way to deal with this. Let's see. They can. So maybe I don't know how you say this. A series saw the punitive and knew that's what they were on. But I think now they just run and hit the Obokatas and win the game. Oh, no, they can't, because that's still only 3. That's only 2 points. So that's interesting. I wonder what would have been the better play here, because if they had stolen the Obokata, they wouldn't have had enough cards. See, I think you just run archives now, right? Yeah. Another Ingram Flush can Flush your hand. Let's see, so we have one punitive, so we're assuming they didn't see the other punitive. So they can definitely steal one of these. They can't steal the other one. Yeah, and I think you can't double, you'd have to double punitive here. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. So I think, unfortunately for Infinite Jester, I don't know if they can recover from this unless they find a preemptive. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's game. That was just some bad luck, it looked like. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at Jason Deng here, and this is the king. So one of our participants in the tournament is visually impaired, and he has Sadstug, I guess how you say it, is his oracle and is piloting the deck for him. So this is the king up here and Jason Deng down here. And CTM seems to be really good with the new ban list. Some cards that are free from the ban list are Moonbad Temple. I'm curious if there's any NEH decks, or is NEH banned now actually, but NEH is probably not. Is NEH legal? I don't know. But Gold Farmer is an amazing card. I'm actually think it's one of the best ice that have come out since Surveyor. Well, maybe Border Control is also up there, but this Gold Farmer is incredibly taxing for the cost. With Faust coming back, and the Devil Charms and Chisel kind of combos, Ice Destruction, it's pretty good against this because it's of only the one strength. It's not high strength, but I think it's an amazing card for MBN. So Lady Liberty, it looks like he just used it this last turn. I've seen a few of these. Oh, this one, he also has Tech Startup. I've seen some of these CTMs also carry Boom. Just says kind of like if they go tag me, then you can, kill them. Yep, that seems like a good play. Hard-hitting news. Got lots of credits. Force the runner to have to clear them and score in this remote. It's a really good fork, especially when you have that kind of money. I don't know what's R&D interface. That's two influence. I don't see R&D interface very often in Val. But I don't see any of the cards that are lifted. This seems pretty standard. I wonder if Turtle's going to kind of lose its power because Faust is back. Another interesting one that came off of the ban list is Tapworm. That one was such a pain, super oppressive, but I guess without sacrificial SatCon being gone, it is no longer an issue. But I wonder if Turtle will lose some of its love. I'm not sure why you just... Oh, I guess they're just going to tag me. And with going tag me, it's never a good thing because now They can get boomed. They can, if they have boom. Gold farmer, crazy, crazy, because that is 1, 2, that's 4, that's 8 credits just to get through all that. And it only cost the runner 6, 7 total. And I guess some clicks to install. Mind that. But pretty good ice. So they're going to access 3 cards here. Unfortunately, the DBS has been ticking for a good portion of this game, it looks like, so they're probably, botting. It's great for bottoming the big agendas and just keeping them away from the runner. And if he he can usually do a swap here. Oh, and there's the consulting visit, I'm assuming for boom. Yep. Seems good. Okay, let's go ahead and check out Yukon Cornelius and Headmoths. So we have Blue Sun. Blue Sun does the Blue Sun stuff. Building blocks is a great addition for, what's this? Glen Station. That just looks like, I just think I like Oaktown better. And I don't know what he's doing here. Can host a card from HQ face down. Interesting. Yeah, this is an interesting deck here. We have Professional Context and Tapworm. I really loved the combo of Peace in Our Time with Tapworm. So we got a wake-up call. Play on the runner trash at least 1 corp card during his or last turn. Choose an install piece of hardware or non-virtual resource. The runner must either trash that card or suffer 4 meat damage. So what do you trash here? Proco. That's a pain. That's a pain. I think that might have been worse, though, for Thomas. I'm not sure, because, I mean, getting rid of that is good, but oh, but it only cost him 1. I thought it was a trace. Never mind. So that's good. Cost 1 to trash Professional Context. That seems good. So the time in the round ends at 9:50 Eastern, and so that's about 7 more minutes in the round. A lot of the games are finishing up here. Sorry I was a little bit late, and so I'm kind of hopping around. I usually like to kind of stick to one game and watch the whole time, but kind of since I came into this round late and getting the stream set up, had to kind of just jump around. So we got a border control. not sure why you don't break that and actually go. It costs 2 to break, and you can get rid of some stuff. Gives them 1. Yeah, I think you break that. They might end the run on you, and that's great. You know, they lose the border control. You get the star. You lose Stargate, I guess. So sorry about that. I was checking some messages from people who were in the tournament asking me some questions. So it looks like they're both very poor here. The nice thing about Blue Sun is you can always bring back that Chiashi. I don't know if Boomerang helps that much. You still take the net damage, but I guess if you're trying to doof them, you can take the net damage and just end the run. I don't love that play, but you gotta deal with Chiashi somehow. Doof and tapeworm or tapworm actually seem anti-synergistic because you kind of want the corp to have money. Losing that Citadel Sanctuary I think is a pain too, especially if they're on punitive. It's nice to be able to have that protection. You assume that Thomas is on punitive. Yeah, unfortunately with Blue Sun they can just recover so easily because he has this Chiashi rezzed. Headmoss just said no, there's though unfortunately this game is probably going to come to time. I'm going to let them know. think the correct play, I mean, you probably hear, because this is probably close to the last turn, you might want to border control this. Maybe get out a way to score out an agenda. Yeah. Yep, and that's game. Because they're going to run out of time here, Head Moth is going to get on 4 points, and I think it becomes impossible for Yukon Cornelius to score out. Okay, so that is time in the round. I am going to, oh, there goes my alarm. I'm going to come back here in about 10 minutes. I'm going to not pause the stream, but just go away and mute myself so that I can set up the next round. Okay, thanks for watching, guys, and I will check you back in about 10 minutes. Okay, let's bring it back. So we have the pairings up right now. Current standings are, so we have a 3 sweeps by Analyze Chris, Osculate, and Whiteblade. There is a lot of Anarch. You can tell some of the cards that came off for Anarch are pretty good. So we have Zero and Faust. So I think people are really interested in trying that out. I thought there might be more CTM, but there's not. Apologize. Also, I have some kids going to bed and they're starting to make a little noise up there. But let's go ahead and take a look here and at kind of the next matches. Let's see if we can catch one of the top tables, which I think is going to be Osculate and who was it? It was Osculate and it looks like Analyze Chris maybe. So let's see, what decks are they on? We have Laura Osculate, who is playing Sports Metal, and we have Analyze Chris, or Chris is playing Hoshiko. I'm assuming that on Hoshiko he's probably trying out Zero and Faust. That's my assumption, but I don't know. Laura always doing kind of tricky things inside of Sports Metal. I've seen her use Sports Metal Punitive, and that can be effective because people aren't expecting that, and Sports Metal makes some pretty good money. But let's go ahead and see what's happening here. Oh yeah, I have seen the Mwanza stuff that she does. She uses a Mwanza City Grid. Is it Mwanza City Grid to be able to get a ton of money and then force them to access snares and a bunch of nasty stuff. Yep, and there's a snare right off the bat. Pew, pew. Bummer. The question is, does she fire it here? Because that cost her 4. And I just don't know if it's worth it. Yeah, really bad timing because she has no money. I don't think you do it then, because then what he would do is check server 1. Assuming there's like a gatekeeper. Yeah. Gatekeeper is a way for her to protect Rashida, to kind of get her going. And there's the Zero. What a great card. So is it Brain Cage that allows you to kind of select which card? Oh, it's an agenda. Oh no, NGO. Just, Gatekeeper firing, just being able to get the draw is really awesome as well. I love DreamNet and Hoshiko. I think it's great. Works so well together with her ability of digital. So you basically forces you to keep running the whole time. And, if you can stay on her flipped side just running, it's great. Laura is getting off some good fires here in this server. That's always feels pretty good to be able to get off a Rashida. And there's the Mwanza, which... Now the question is, what else does she have in her hand? So I don't know. She's taking some time here, so maybe she's getting a little flooded. So with Hoshiko's draw and the ability from DreamNet. Is 0 even necessary? I feel like Hoshiko already has pretty good draw with DreamNet and her ability. So I just wonder if it seems a bit too much. I guess as a one-cost console, it's pretty nice. Or it's not a console even, one-cost hardware, so you can still run Keiko. So Mwanza's so interesting because Mwanza here, if they run HQ, she wants them to run HQ to hit snares and just get a bunch of money. And she gets a bunch of money. Access all the cards. I think the more annoying thing is not surviving the snares, but it gives her such an economic boost. So we got biotic labor. The interesting thing about Mwanza too is it just is causing fear in Chris a little bit, unfortunately, when he could be probably pressuring HQ a little bit more. So you can assume like money, she's gonna have no problems with money. Maybe you just gotta check it. Just go for it. You get the draw from DreamNet, you get the draw from her, do a 0, hit 0. You're going to have enough cards. I guess you want to kind of get that one down on the ground. I don't know. Sometimes I just like to play YOLO a little bit. So he fired 0. He's fired 0 quite a bit of times, but he hasn't been using it, it looks like. Well, I guess he's been using it almost every turn. So interesting here. She really wants him to go into HQ. So yeah, I feel like Hoshiko's better when she's running a lot, so I think it'd be better to, I know it's risky, but and I think you can push through this remote. Yeah, maybe, do you run HQ here? You could at this point. I mean, it wouldn't hurt too bad. I guess you'd lose a lot of cards if you hit 2 snares, but I think it's the time to do it if you're going to do it. There's going to be 2 of them at most. Punitive, snare. So we got a snare in there. Hit 2 snares, right? Oh wait, it pays 0 to trash snare, so it hits 1 snare. So he's got 1, he has 1, he has snare, he has 1 more access. And I think you trash and then get some money and clear that tag probably. Seems to be the right play. So got rid of one snare and two Mwanza city grids. So that's good. Though he's running out a lot of his deck. Oh, he has APOC in this deck? That's weird. Actually, I'm super confused why that's in here. Is that a one of? Or maybe the intent was this to always be an APOC deck. Ah, get rid of those punitives. Ooh, trashes the other Mwanza. That's a bummer for Laura. But he wants to go in and try and hit those punitives. So, I mean, agendas have to start building up here in HQ, so there's got to be some coming up. HQ seems like the way to go. That's a great one to kill. So this feels like if it were I would have jammed an agenda in there. But now he doesn't get that money from, let's see, he has virtual. So he still gets the virtual. Oh, it's the link in digital. It's not virtual. Never mind. So the dream net is no longer a thing. Ooh, Fairchild 3 on archives. I actually didn't expect that one. The question is, you just click through this? Feels bad, but I think you do that. I think it's the best way to save you money. Nice thing for Laura is I think this, it's not GFI, but it's a Project Vacheron, but you have now opened up GFI for you. So here's some money now for Chris. Gatekeeper. Yeah, I think you break this one. You don't want this one to fire for. NAPD Cordon, play only if there's no active lockdown. This is basically taking place of the currents that have all been banned, which is kind of a great thing. I'm actually glad to see that. This operator is not trash. So this is, as additional cost to steal an agenda, the runner must pay 4 + 2 for each advancement token on this agenda. So this is a NAPD contract-esque, theme of a card. But it's nice you can use it on any type of agenda. Seems interesting. I haven't played it yet. So making a run here with Stargate. Project Vacheron, unfortunately, does not score from, it does not get the counters if you steal it from archives, I believe. Oh, Labor Rights is another free card from the MWL. Great card for Anarchs. It was super powerful in those max decks that used LAM and crowdfunding. You could just keep bringing back the cutlery and stuff like that to kind of keep getting rid of their ice. People felt it was a little oppressive at the time. Laura seems to be in kind of a bad position here now. Maybe not. She has a lot of ice resed. But agendas do need to start piling up. I think it's going to be hard for her to get a punitive off. I actually really like this this rebirth into Ed Kim. I usually don't like it that much, just because I prefer Omar. But with Fairchild 3, it actually worked out good. And he wants to be kind of hitting HQ over and over. So awkward's position here for Laura. She has to either like click for a credit to advance the NGO, which is 2 clicks to gain 3. So it's probably better. No, 1 click. No, 2 clicks to gain 3, which might be better. Yeah, I think, yeah, she's just going to take the money. It's not that efficient to use 2 clicks to gain 1 credit. Or 2 clicks to gain 3 credits, I should say. So all the punitives are gone. Looks like this is... I have no idea what this is. Let's see. Let's look at the archive. So she has gone through... Could be a Rashida. Could be... I feel like it's probably agenda. She doesn't want to keep those in HQ. Cheap ice to break. Surveyor, quite a pain. And it's just the wrong strength right now for Chris. So what did he do there? Did he initiate a trace? Pay 0. Did he avoid tag somehow? I'm confused. Oh yeah, he did pay into that one, so gotcha, I missed that. So seems like, I mean, I still think HQ is the way to go, because you want to get that counter, because this is then cost you 1, 2, 5 to run into server 1. So he went to go and wait, what? Was he just passing the vanilla? I guess that makes sense. Because he gains 6 credits. Because with Bravado you get 3 and then 1 for the ones you pass. R&D seems to be the place. Punitive Counter-Strike. Drafter Hedge Fund. I don't know if you trash Punitive Counter-Strike. I feel like it's better to trash... I think it might have been better to trash the Ice Drafter, maybe? I don't see her... I see him, with Ed Kim trashing the Punitive Counter-Strike when she draws it. Or... because now now she has that ice that she can put there. Looks like she has some other ice. So the question is this actually puts Laura in a pretty decent spot. Does she then just purge this next? I think it's a good chance for her to purge. So getting an access here I think would be important. Yeah, getting a Stargate is important. SSL, money. For him, that's the best one to see. And there we go. That's a good game. Well played, Chris. Well played. That was well played. Those agendas were all sitting pretty low in her deck. Let's go ahead and... So 0 was pretty handy there. 0, you know, kind of helped him find his stuff. I'm not sure about the APOC in the deck. Is that just a random APOC? Let's see if they're going to create another match here that we can join. Watch the other side. Okay, we have Laura on the outfit and... No, Laura on Max and Chris on the outfit. So let's see. I could potentially see 0 and Buffer Drive. So it's interesting. This is a 45 card max. Laura typically has liked Ma in her max decks and data folding. So we can maybe see if that's what she's kind of... Yep, there's the Ma. And a paperclip. Paperclip being off is really good for Max. Going with the companions. Lots of money. Oh, and also labor rights being off. That's a really good card for Max because you get, you know, you can have the labor rights to bring the cards back you need. Seems to me that seems like it's probably Ma. There's my son screaming for me, who is supposed to be in bed, but not in bed yet, so I apologize.
Dad,
What's up, buddy?
what game are you playing?
I'm playing Netrunner. We get to hack into people's servers.
Dad,
Yeah.
play done? Can
Huh?
you come upstairs?
Yeah, I won't be done for a little bit.
Okay, Dad.
Yeah.
And can you watch Avatar down here later?
You want to watch Avatar?
Yeah, down here.
It's a little late for Avatar, but we'll watch that. We've been watching Avatar, so.
Yeah, later.
Yeah, maybe later.
Soon.
Soon? Okay.
Yeah.
Time for you to go to bed. Night, buddy.
Last episode. Harry Potter.
Oh, okay. You're watching
Last one.
watching Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Sorry. Sorry about this, guys. But anyways, so let's jump back in here. Sorry, I've not been focusing. So we got a CityWorks project. So he dedication ceremony, which is great because, you know, with CityWorks, it becomes very difficult to steal. With the 3 counters on it, that's 1 additional meat. So you have 2. That's a total of 5 meat damage. It's pretty painful. Oh, rude. SDS. Yeah, Film Critic being gone is great for decks like SDS. So he's going pretty fast here. So it looks like she's doing an Ngolo build with labor rights and the spoon. So it's similar to, what do they call that? That was the, I can't remember which maxes they were, the spiky maxes or the foxy maxes. I can't remember what they were. Oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on in my house. It's crazy time. So Trebuchet can paint that one if she wants. Let's see. Yeah, that one's probably, you gotta paint. Break that one. Question is, what is this ice behind here? Unfortunately, Laura has, you know, the feeling that she needs to run everything. So that is a surveyor. So with MK Ultra, you're looking at that to break is 2 to install, and then, what is that, 9? Yeah, it's pretty painful.
Daddy.
Yeah, you install it with the money. The question is, yeah, I mean, do
Leo.
you just take the tags? Thanks, buddy. You gotta go to bed.
Last episode of show.
So, thing is if she pays into this, I don't think you pay into it. You just take the tags and clear them. It's going to be a better deal for you than paying into it. Too big to fail, so he recovers here nice and easy. Punitive, so punitive is the kill plan. Unfortunately, I don't think Laura is looking like she's in a good spot right now. Oh, she killed the too big to fail, which is probably a good call right now, because he would have... Oh, he had another one. Oh, no, did she trash it? She did trash it, but it looks like he had another one. Whew. Man, that puts him in a really good spot. I don't know if Laura can recover from this. Those gangsters, the outfit. I don't think there's anything she can really do here, because like if she steals, he could just punitive her. She'd have to basically win out, get on 7 points. Can't steal in server 1. I don't think she's on any APOC type of builds. Yep, I think that's game, potentially. Yep, that's it. That one went pretty quick. What was that, turn 7? Oh yeah, he had the SDS, so he's just going to install it, obviously. That's how it goes sometimes. Faster than Max. It's crazy. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into some other games, and we will... So we have White Blade and the King. Sadstug is being the Oracle for the King, because the Oracle is visually impaired. So let's go ahead and jump in. JNet is loading a little slowly right now. So we have Whiteblade playing Argus. It looks like he is economic warfare. It looks like a pretty standard Argus from what I can tell so far. And the king is on, I believe this is a Val deck that he is, yeah, Val deck that he is, and he's rebirthed into Omar. So let's see what this is. Oh, that's a ETR. So you're gonna take a tag here. You don't have. You'd be at 0 to steal this because if you want to clear a tag. Well, and you're gonna take some meat damage, which is Argus is 2 meat, so you'd have no cards. You would have 0 cards and 0 money to steal this agenda. But if it's GFI, they win. I think you got to do it, right? Getting in's free, which is fine, but clearing the tag costs 2. Yep, got to steal it. Argus, I just don't think it's gotten hit very hard. It still seems like a decent deck. I can't think of. Well, now GFI is free. What other kind of cards would you add in there that would have been that were currently on the MWL? I'm not sure what card I would want to play to add because it was already pretty strong. Hard hitting news, 0 cards, 4 tags, 0 credits. It does not look good for the king here. So I think the key here would be to try and get some accesses and maybe win. Go tag me. It's unlikely you're going to, you obviously can't clear those. So get some accesses is I think the answer. And hopefully you win. So that's going to be game there with high profile target. Gotta check R&D. Whoredom, easily break that. So you probably go back and check R&D one more time. And then HQ. Yep, can't win off of one more access. Gotta at least get an agenda there. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna look here to see what people are playing, see if there's anything interesting. A lot. So we have another max deck here, which I'm interested in seeing. So let's go ahead and see, who was that? That was Val, Hoshiko. We got Adam. Let's go ahead and go in here into Exalt's game and disperse. What kind of NBN deck is this? This is a... It's not showing up. Sometimes JNet just kind of lags there for me a little bit. So we have GameNet. So Adam here looks to be pretty set up. Maybe doesn't have tons of money. Got some jackpots, got some Caddy Jones. But disperse with all that money. All that money. These agendas are super annoying against GameNet. Turnpike. Turnpike was already a great ice and already pretty taxing, but giving them also a credit feels bad. So as resource. So yeah, I think you break that one there. Because you don't want the corp to get it credit, but I mean, they have so much money, I don't know if it matters. So Bologna, they actually don't have the money to steal this. So do you take the Caddy Jones? I feel like you might want to actually still steal this. I think that was probably a mistake to run in there with that many credits. Huh, so they're going to let them keep it. Because if you can get on 6 points, I mean, that's a great position to be in. I guess it does protect you from hard-hitting news because they kind of want to score that out. So they go ahead and they install in server 3 and server 4. Oh, fully operational. So that is the way they're making their money. I didn't see that in their archives. That is insane amount of money. I don't even know. Do you even need a daily quest? So the question is, you got to check this, right? Could be a Beal. You don't even know what it is. Pay 3, give them 1. I think that's a better deal. Oh, but you have multi-threader. So multi-threader, because this is 1, 2, 3 credits. So it's only costs 2. So it's a better deal to use to break it and use multi-threader. Yeah, definitely. Cost you 1 credit. Wait. Oh, it was 2 programs, so it cost you 2 credits. Still better. Goes ahead and steals SSL. So I'm curious if they're on a punitive plan, because fully operational is pretty expensive. Chrysium, so you have that's 6, that's 7. That feels like pretty expensive. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be able to fit punitive in here. Enough punitives. Oh, and they took Jackpot and Caddy Jones. So money is not an issue. 12 credits, a total of 15 credits, 30 credits total. Holy cow. Is even trashing this worth it? They both have so much money. It really just feels like it comes down to accesses this time, and who can steal the agendas. Or if Exalt can steal the agendas or not. But I guess, trashing stuff is good as well. Surprised about those jackpots. I've never seen a jackpot that high. That's pretty impressive. Whenever an agenda is added to your score area, you take any number of credits. I mean, they got it that high because it was, turn 12 as well. So they had to have that turn 1 ticking up this whole time. It's pretty good punitive protection for 0 cost. It is not bad, actually. It's not like very consistent, right? It's like you gotta steal the agenda to get the money. But I guess that's what punitive is. Like you're stealing the agenda and then getting the money for it. So if you can get them down early, steal agendas late, get them really racked up. Not bad. I think Disperse is maybe in a tough spot here. Doesn't look like they have any good servers set up. Got a lot of money, but so does Exalt. I feel like with Paperclip opening up, Paperclip would be like a great card in Exalt's deck to be able to deal with barriers. 3 influence, can have it in your heap. Basically, you get some of the best breakers, Angolo and Paperclip. Deal with some really great ice. So I think in this case, I'm not sure the rule with IP block. If you lose money from a card ability, I think this counts traces as well. Does that mean GameNet fires as well? I think it does. So to break Gold Farmer, that costs 1/2 to switch, then 1/2 to break, then 1/2 of increased money plus the runner losing. So that's 6 credits to break with Angolo. That's not nice. And then they gain a credit. Oh, so they are on a punitive deck. So they did fit some in. But that jackpot kept them alive. There you go. So many of the runners I've seen this tournament have had punitive Counter-Strike. I wonder if everyone's thinking, with Film Critic gone, that it's a reliable way to kill people. Oh, and there is Paperclip. Yep, so there it is. Fortunately, punitive is no longer available option. Exalt wins no matter what, any agenda they see. Oh, I'm going to let them know time is up. I'm going to go ahead and close out here or let everyone else know. And that is round 2. We're going to go ahead and I'll enter the results and then I will come back in. So I'm going to go ahead and close you guys down here for a second while I do that. I'll be back in about 10 minutes. Okay, and I'm back. We got the pairings up. Let's go ahead and take a look here. We have Analyze Chris in first place, Whiteblade in second, LSTM and NISEI in fourth. So it looks like the pairings are going to be Chris and NISEI and Whiteblade and LSTM. Let's go ahead and watch. I'm more curious actually about Whiteblade and LSTM. Nah, sorry, I don't want to watch Argus, guys. Let's go ahead and watch NISEI and Chris here. No offense to Argus and Argus players. I really like Argus, but I don't think it's anything new. So 0 seems to be the card. Going in hard here. What do we think this is? Did he forget to score it? He was able to score on their turn, so there you go. It didn't look like she ran anyway, so maybe it wouldn't have mattered, but pretty decent setup here for Chris getting the hostiles and for NISEI. I don't actually know their name, so apologize. We know Chris is on a punitive style deck, so having lots of money is good. Oh, Paragon and Buffer Drive. That's interesting. Do love some 0. Buffer Drive is an interesting include for that because you can potentially bring what is it? What it needs to be trashed. The first time each turn, 1 or more cards is trashed from your grip or stack. You may add one of those cards to the bottom of your stack. Cards are trashed from your grip or stack. Oh, that's awesome. So you can use Buffer Drive for anything. That's really handy. So yeah, Chris is just going fast here. City Works and Dedication Ceremony. This is incredible. This has been incredibly fast to watch. Goes ahead and scores, and now he's probably just got to find another agenda here and jam it. So that's pretty nice. I wonder what that. So MK and Black Orchestra in the bin. We have Not Even Gonna Res. Too Big to Fail, Dedication Ceremony, Whoredom. Too Big to Fail doesn't really matter. Dedication Ceremony is probably good, or one of those choices. Dedication Ceremony is good because if they install a City Works, that's a problem. The question is this an agenda in HQ? I don't think it is because I think he would have probably installed it last turn. I think Stargate's probably the best approach right now, is to keep getting in there and Stargating as much as can. And that's the right call for Chris. If he can draw into an agenda right here, it's good for him. And he can install anything like Rashida, which helps him out, move his game forward. Still think she wants, I'm saying she, they, don't know if it's she or they, he or she, but they, apologize for that. Should definitely Stargate here. Bulwark, Rashida. I think you get rid of the Rashida. Dedicated Ceremony is good too. Yeah. Definitely need to check here. What kind of cards do we have in? We're missing Paperclip, which is a bit of a pain. Yep, and there's the Bulwark with a res cost. Take a bad pub with a red, ends up being a res cost of 7 because you get the 3 credits. Yeah, that's a real bummer. Great little card there. Trashes 1 program. Gains 2, and the run. This outfit is real fast. A jammy outfit. Oh, and then he goes ahead and double advances. This is probably like an SDS or... Well, if it's an SDS, I don't even know if he reses anything. I guess the Bulwark is pretty painful for a Suri to hit. And that's the game. Good game. That was quick and fast. Wow. Let's see what's going on here. I'm curious what their other decks are. But at the same time, I also wanted to see what Whiteblade and LSTM were doing. So let's go pop in here for a second. So this is an RP with bioethics, Warwoid tracker. I believe Whiteblade is on a APOC deck, so probably doesn't feel too good for LSTM to get hit by that. What turn is this? Turn 5, so we can watch this match because it's pretty early in the game. So I wonder, is this trying to be like a bioethics, like taxing the runner, or like being just like pinging them with net damage? I feel like the trash cost is pretty good, pretty cheap with not being, IG. Looks like Whiteblade is in the mood to maybe try and do some... Oh, so this one could, if he has APOC, could lose him his APOC. Yeah. That one's going to lose him a lot of stuff. Does it lose... From end of the encounter, whenever you reveal a grip, use subroutine on the size, you may trash 1 reveal to those cards of that type. Ugh. Yeah. So loses APOC, loses labor rights. Looks like Whiteblade was ready to do an APOC there. Could. That was a code gate. It's not a Hokusai grid. Definitely trash the Sundew. LSTM is definitely pretty poor here. Go ahead and use a 0, loses Boomerang. Yeah, good call to kind of just start getting something down that able to break through all this stuff. Do 1 net damage for all the MU. Gonna use MK Ultra on that one. Pretty expensive to break, but it's okay. So LSTM has not had good econ. I think you probably just have to click for credits here and see if you can secure. I'm assuming a Crick maybe on archives. Is that the type of deck that is that the type of card they have here in this deck? That'd be a good card, but I'm not sure that's the one they have. I wonder if just taking the damage was probably better with that Cortex lock. Oh, you have a free run now on HQ. Yep. Go ahead and run that. So Whiteblade's playing the game of really trying to keep LSTM down with money, which they haven't really been able to get any econ going. Definitely go ahead here and get those free runs on HQ. Yeah, I think that's a good call. You can't let Whiteblade can't let Daily Business show fire for too long, because LSTM is just going to be bottoming agendas, and it also draws them into the things they need. I think that's a really good call. Never want DBS to fire too long. Yeah, it just keeps going ahead and LSTM. Unfortunately, I think you're gonna lose this Sundew. You get 2 credits from it. It costs you 2 to res, so pays for itself. And I think that is the right call. Trash that. So the big thing I'm seeing with a lot of decks is people are adding labor rights and paperclip. and 0 to the decks. That's the big changes I've been seeing with these Anarchs. A lot of Anarchs right now. Curious though with Shaper, where where Shaper is living these days, because a lot of things have been released. Well, I guess I'm trying to. Oh, I guess Aesop's is the big one, that coming off the MWL. Some Aesop's Haley or something like that might be a real viable build. Ooh, viral weaponization. So, yeah, unfortunately. Oh, and that's game. Oh no, it's only 6. I thought that was something else. So, looking good for Whiteblade here. Go ahead and reses the bioethics. I still think this is like super easy to deal with. It's not. I mean, I guess Whiteblade runs out of deck here pretty soon, but there's one bioethics in archives. There's one that's resed here. He's gonna go in and trash it. There's a Hokusai grid, I'm assuming. Do you 0 here? Or do you just draw? And hits, I've had worse. That probably feels pretty good. Yep, right call, res that. And that's game. Good game, Whiteblade. I think he played that really well there. He's going to run out of deck and he's going to run out of steam eventually, but had some good lines there. Looks like their games are done, so let's go ahead and check out let's go back to Laura and the king here. Actually, I'm interested in, sorry about that, I'm maybe interested in here and watching Code Marvelous and Jason Dang in their games. We got an Anarch versus an MBN deck. It's going to take me a second here for this to come in and leave. So Laura's doing her Ma stuff. She looks like she has a much better setup here this game. Oh, she's out of deck though. So she's in the labor rights part now. But let's go in here and watch this one. I'm curious about what's happening here. Not sure which type of NBN this is. Could look up to see what deck he's playing, but I'm assuming CTM. Yep, so he's on a CTM deck versus, oh, and this game is definitely over. So it looks like I'm catching the tail ends of these games. Let's see if they're going to go on to their reverse match. Oh wow, that was fast. So he just basically Stargated him, it looks like. Okay, we're going to go back to this one right here then. All these Anarchs and people playing fast decks. So sometimes there's a little bit of delay because the king has to be told what the cards are in his hand and what's on the board by Sadtug. Sorry, I don't know how I'm supposed to be saying that. So it looks like Laura has a pretty decent setup here. Going to be, getting those maw triggers. Hard hitting news. Doesn't look like that's going to be happening. I think poking HQ feels pretty good here. So the dedication ceremony, I wonder if you do that with a reconstruction contract. I wonder if they're on that type of deck. Hits a snare. That's pretty rude. Wait, did they hit snare? There's 2 snares in a row. Dang. So with high profile target, Laura might lose this game here just off of that. I mean, I think she has to. Do you even clear tags? Well, if they have boom. Consulting visit is now gone. Yeah, this. I mean, I don't think the tags matter. You just keep the tags unless you want a turning wheel. That's the only reason you'd save it. Double snare. Brutal. So there's the SDS. But that's okay because she's trying to avoid, maybe trying to potentially. The thing is, I think you steal that there. I think you just. I don't understand the downside of. Not exactly. I'm not exactly sure the downside of not stealing that. They're, I guess, double. I mean, they can't really double punitive you. Puts you on 6 points, which is good. So agendas have to be building up in HQ. Yeah, I think SADSEG, like it's kind of interesting here because if there's a lot of agendas in R&D and they don't really want to be drawing them into their hand and not find like a high profile target, but this is like an opportunity to kill real fast if you can. So I think what you do is you draw, because what you'd want to do is you want to maybe draw into a high profile target if you don't have it right now. Or I think you can draw twice. It depends on if you draw agendas, because then you can just put the agendas in server 2. But it depends on it's in server 2. Laura definitely could get in. I mean, if they put something into server 2, it's likely that they run that and then they run the SDS in archives. So that's risky as well. But she can clear tags next turn, and that's like an opportunity to kill. So I think you got to draw for high profile target. Oh, awesome. That's really awesome. So, wow, what a neat play. I mean, do you even need to double? You don't even. You could have done one. You could have just put it out there. You can't steal it. I guess it's more insult to injury. I mean, I think she just has to poke, right? So, check HQ. Which one did she trash? I think that's game. So she can't really do anything, right? Because she trashes reversed accounts. She can. No, there's no way because she doesn't have enough clicks. She needs to get. She'd have to have another turning wheel counter to see the card below. She's just going to see the other one. That's game. There's nothing she can do. Unless there's something in server 2. Run server 2. I mean, that's the only other option, right? Yeah, that's what you do. She might win the game here. Because she didn't see, because that's her only option. Now, if they have a border control on any of this, I mean, she can get in no matter what. I think if this is an agenda, they lose. The king loses. Ah, there it is. That's game. There it is. I mean, I still think those were the best lines for Laura. HQ, R&D. That's funny. Wonder how long that's been sitting there. So let's see what other matches are going on. We're gonna go in to disperse, and oh, we got Shaper. Let's look at our one Shaper. See, I'm assuming Sat Zero, is this Justin? I'm sure he is going to be. I think this is Justin. I should confirm. Cabanisa Wu. Yeah. Oh, this is cool. So this is using. Ooh, and we got open decks. Holy cow, look at those. That HQ. I don't know if they're seeing a Hushik. So this looks pretty interesting. Unfortunately, if an agenda is stolen, the double punitive is going to get them. Man, taxing ice here for GameNet. So let me check. tons of shaper things happening here. Okay, so Sat 0 is Justin. Just wanted to make sure. Uh-oh. Is that an agenda? Let's see, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 agendas. Might be, yeah, might be an agenda here. And if he's not, if disperse is not, doesn't have any, oh man. Well, I wonder what that is, and what is that upgrade there? Wow, good game, wow. That was a big recovery because I thought disperse, had the money and was really, it looked like they were going to be able to tax him out, but it was an interesting game. Good game. Okay, let's go to Sadsug and Laura, to the king, I should say. Laura, once again, doing her Mwanza City Grid with punitive, I believe. Oh, she has snares in here. The king is playing Val with 0. Looks like just good stuff, Val. I'm not sure exactly what the ice is here or what this is installed in the server. I'm assuming it's something like an upgrade. I'm not sure. Maybe a snare. Maybe she put down a snare to see if they would run it. That's interesting. Playing the lockdown. Oh, so what's interesting about this is they have the lockdown. They have to play the lockdown, and you can't. So with a 3-5, you have to have it installed beforehand, and then play the lockdown and then advance. It's a little awkward. I mean, but if you have like a what is that, a 4-2 or something like that, that would work, or a 3-2. Or is it 3-5? What is the opposite way? Sorry, a 2-4 and or a 2-3. It's getting late, getting tired. So she goes ahead and scores that. I wonder if the king is expecting anything like a Mwanza City Grid. Got paperclip to be able to break this pretty efficiently. It's a good card for the king to hit, to be able to trash. Laura's pretty poor right now. Perfect timing to give another bad pub. Though the king is relatively poor as well, but has liberated accounts to be able to burst up as needed. I think Laura's strategy is going to have to be, surprise. She must have, for putting that on HQ, she must have some snares in there. So with Mwanza, I think she gets the money after the fact, so not before. So she actually wouldn't have the money to fire all of them at this time. With Paperclip coming off of the MWL or being gone, I honestly don't know if I'm going to see Corroder as much. Corroder might find its place in some Shaper decks because of the single less influence, but even then, Paperclip is just so good. I don't know if I'm going to be seeing Corroder that much. Yeah, I think this is the right approach for the king, is to just keep hammering on R&D. There doesn't seem to be any real threats right now. Curious what this is right here that she put in there. Potentially a over-advanced Vitruvius? Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Or just an NGO. Could be an NGO. Her turn was Rashida. Put an ice and install advance. Gonna go ahead and stim hack that. What are the... There is a Black Orchestra for that. Yep. Takes one brain. This turtle getting charged up, it's a problem for Laura. The ice become very easy to break. The turtle data sucker combo is pretty good. What's interesting is I haven't seen much Faust. Faust decks really liked Levy. I thought I would see more Faust. But maybe it's just not that as oppressive. It's still a very powerful card. Incredibly powerful, so I think with Zero and maybe Buffer Drive and Faust, that might be an interesting combo. I'm not sure exactly what deck it could live in. But the old Dumblefork decks, they tried to basically open up R&D with Medium to do a Medium dig. And so you were using Parasite and Clone Chips and Faust with Cutlery and stuff to contest remotes. And okay, so they're going Mwanza. I think they're going to die here. I think they're going to die. Cheeky. Wow. No snares. But 22 credits. That's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome, actually. That information actually being available is pretty scary to them. I think they should have or did they access another Mwanza? from the root of HQ, so they access that Mwanza. I think you trash that. I think you gotta trash that. The money's straight up ridiculous. I mean, that's two credits for each card accessed. Can she double punitive? So they might have an I've had worse. They're missing 2 I've had worse. Credits, are they going to help? Two credits, 24. Depends on what's in server 1. If that's like a reshoot or something that gives them extra money, gives Laura extra money, she might be able to do it. Depends on if, you know, they have I had worse. You got to draw up to 3 at least. Got to have at least 3 cards. Probably 0. Yep, that's a good call. I don't think you... Do you draw again? I don't think you draw again. I think you maybe take a credit because now you... Well, maybe, I don't know if they had I've had worse or not, but... So the math is what? So that... Oof. Bummer. Math wasn't quite there. Question is, when do you purge? Do you just let this keep going because the oof. It's looking really good for the king right now, actually, I think. Yeah, I like that purge there. Getting an ice down in front of R&D, purging. So I wonder. So back to the conversation of Faust. I wonder if it will become an issue, and what type of tech people might play to deal with it. It might not be. But like Swordsman was always like a kind of a reliable thing, but MK Ultra didn't exist, and so people were relying on getting their Mimic out at the time. So, but with MK, it seems so easy. You can just like 0 and get it out so fast. So I'm curious if Laura tries to go for the, because I don't think they know if that she has Snare in their deck. So I'm curious what she's doing here. She looks like she's just trying to build a big remote. I don't know if her ice is taxing enough. I'm not sure what her ice is. Really what she wants them to do is run HQ, but I don't know if they're ever going to run HQ again. So I think the right line, I think you got to check this server. I think it's like a Project Vacheron or some big agenda that she wants to do a lockdown on next turn. That's BO is in the bin. Expensive to use. Yeah, I think do you break it or do you, maybe you use your clicks? I think you use your clicks and hippo it. That's what I do. I don't know if that's the best, but that seems, I think that's better than using your money. 9 credits. Whew, it's expensive. Surprised I haven't seen like snares or anything like that. Wonder where those are. So we have 3 bad pub, all of these fired. Oh, we are at time. I need to call this game. Yeah, with this being time, I think this is Sadsug's last opportunity to get in here. I don't think she has any border controls or anything like that, so looks likely that they could probably get in. Got MU issues. I don't think you need your turtle. Yeah, I do think this is like a Project Vacheron or some big agenda. Gatekeeper breaks for 6. Yep, so then we have Surveyor. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Oh, so if this is a snare... Oh, but if it's a snare, she doesn't have the money now. I don't think it's a snare. I think it's an agenda. Feels like an agenda. Would have been pretty sneaky to... So go ahead and break that, and then there's going to be 6 to break here. If they steal it, she cannot punitive. She doesn't have the money. Oh, she gains 3. She gains 3 from... Oh, and 2. She gains 3. She might kill him. Let's see. That's 5. If she has a hedge... Oh, snap. Wow. Wow. That was impressive. That was pretty good. So Laura wins that with the punitive in the end. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead and let me go ahead. I'm going to move my head here real quick out of the way. I'll just actually move that so we can see this. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the numbers real quick. Give me just a second here. You guys are more than welcome. So Laura, that was Oscula and the King. They had a split. So let's save that. And table 1, I think Chris is the winner here. And then white blade swept on table 2. Split on table 5. I don't know what kind of split, so we'll just say corp. Split on table 7. Sorry, people are corp split table 3. People are just posting in Slack here, and I gotta just read it. Are we still having people playing right now? No, we don't. Disperse. Table 8 was at 0 save, and I'm missing Exalt and Infinite Jester. Table 4 split. I believe this is correct. Okay, so our standings are Chris wins with 18 points, and White Plate gets second. We're going to go ahead and enter these into the NISEI or the Hacktivist hacker points, so we can kind of see where everyone is right now. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this in here. So the hacker points are, let me go ahead and add this event. We got internet going real slow for me. Shoot. Google Docs is moving slow. So with that leaderboard, we look at the leaderboard. Laura is still in first with 114 points. She's gotten a lot of points in this. We have Analyze Chris at 103 and White Blade at 84. They're our most consistent player, so obviously they're going to have a lot and also getting a lot of wins towards the top. Some really great matches there tonight. So thank you so much for joining me for the stream, and yeah, I look forward to in the next 2 weeks. If anyone wants to join the Hacktivist tournament, you can go ahead and join #Hacktivist-tournaments on Slack, and there's a way that you can join, and we play every 2 weeks on Tuesdays. So either the second or fourth Tuesday or the first and third, just depending on how it works out. But anyways, thanks so much for watching, and